Hey y'all, happy Monday. Welcome to Monday's Medicine. So, if you're new here, Monday's Medicine is a reflection of my meditation for today. Every Monday at 5 a.m., I hold a women-centered meditation space where we gather and we really just focus our energy for the week. And we usually center the meditation around wherever the moon is. And so today the moon is in Capricorn, and so that is the foundation of the medicine today is the medicine of self-leadership. Capricorn is the father of the zodiac. He brings the discipline and acts a lot like a father figure of like structure and leadership and authority. And so it's interesting because last week we were talking about masculine energy and how we lean into it. And so it is, fitting that that is also our follow-up this week is how are we leading ourselves? How are we moving in the energy of authority and leadership over our lives, our dreams, our desires, and what we say we want? Are we governing that area of our lives? So I think sometimes when it comes to dreams and desires, it's okay to set the intention, but are we in active pursuit of it? Are we a participant in that desire, or are we just setting the intention in hopes of the desire just falling into our lap? And I don't know if desire works that way, because it does require us to lean in. It requires us to be open and receptive, and so it requires our curiosity to make the necessary steps. What do we need to do on our end to meet up with that? Where does our opportunity and preparation come in? That we can't control the opportunity or the how it comes in, but we do control the practice and the meeting up with it, the discipline that's necessary to even be available to it. That's what came up in meditation too, is how home and present are we to even be available for those things to come in, because often we set intentions and prayers, and sometimes we're already living the prayers. Sometimes we've already inherited the blessing, we have it, but are we even aware of it, that it's already in existence? And that we no longer have to hope and dream and have these like big desires, that it's actually available if we move in the direction. And I do think in that way we need to be in leadership of our lives to be able to discern where it's already available. So for me, what came up in particular was how much I am allowing myself time to rest and pause. I know we're talking about discipline and leadership, but in order to be in leadership, you also have to have good listening and being able to like actually have the capacity to give instruction to your energy of like, this is what actions we're going to take here. And this weekend I did 24 hours no phone. I powered off my phone Saturday night and didn't turn it back on till this morning. And what I noticed was how much time I had, how much freedom of time I had without scrolling, without checking my phone, without even really having like a plan to do anything in particular. I found pockets of boredom in that and just like ease and rest. But I think sometimes ease and rest can feel like boredom if you're not used to it. And in this period of my life, I've had a lot more of my time and energy than I am used to. Over the summer, my youngest kids were with their dad. They're still with their dad even this week. We've decided to do 1 week on, 1 week off, which prior to this year, I was full-time in it with them, with my 3 youngest kids, with very little to no help. And so now having support and time to myself, it has given me the opportunity to pause in a way that I don't think I've ever really had. And so I've been able to see how much input and output of energy I'm used to, and how much am I allowing myself to pause in the in between is what I'm noticing. That I don't give myself enough time to actually digest and integrate what has come in. It's like the energy is coming in and then I'm outputting. But I think to grow your capacity is to be able to sit with, to be able to be with the energy that is coming in so that you can digest it, so that you can eat the meat, spit out the bones, take what resonates, release what doesn't, because not all of what you intuitively receive is necessary for the instruction that you have right now. So like I might get an idea, or I might be inspired or have an intuitive download to do something, but does that serve me in what I need to do today? Sometimes I could be like so far into the future, which in some cases works for me, in some cases it doesn't, because I find myself being prepared for things ahead of time. But how much of that is also leaning me towards anxiety because I'm so far into the future that I'm also missing the pockets of gratitude for living in the answered prayers now. And so just having the 24 hours of silence was very insightful about where I am in my life and how much gratitude I have for the ease and the support that is available to me right now. Like, I don't know if it's going to be here in a couple weeks, a couple months, or a year from now, but like today, right now, I'm living in an answered prayer. This time last year, my life looked completely different. My capacity felt a lot different. And so being able to even take the time to think about what I want to do is something that I haven't experienced in a really long time. Even what came up for me yesterday as well was my relationship with being an inconvenience and also being inconvenienced. Because I'm also reading Be Water, My Friend by Shannon Lee. She's Bruce Lee's daughter, so she wrote a book about his philosophies around water and being fluid and in flow. And so I was thinking about the areas in which I am rigid, and like back to what I was saying about having a plan and being inspired to do things. And I also think this aligns with my human design, that this is kind of just how my energy works. That like I'm usually responding to something, a need that I'm gonna have ahead of the time. But I also have to find my harmony in that I can't always be in the future. It does work for me sometimes, but there's also pockets where I need to prioritize a pause. But in that, I was thinking about inconvenience, that emotions are inconvenient. You're not going to be able to plan for emotions when they come up. You're not going to be able to plan for a loved one needing you or needing support from you. You're not going to be able to plan when you need to operate in integrity, because part of being somebody of integrity means that you have the discernment of what aligns with you and what doesn't, and that changes. And so, do you have the presence to be with the moment enough to stay in integrity? Do you have the presence to be able to move through inconvenience and uncertainty, and not be so rigid when it comes to having a plan? And as much as I think I pour into like my self-care and my devotion and my practices, it is so that I could be prepared for the day. It is so that I can have enough energy and momentum to do all of the things that I have to do. But how flexible am I willing to be in that? How much inflow am I willing to be in that? And so this week I'm going to be working on being centered in the present, to where I'm building a better relationship with being inconvenienced and being inconveniencing, because this has also been a thing that I think has blocked me from connection in a way that I hate to be an inconvenience, but to be in relationship, to be in connection, to be in love, to be in family, and to be supported and supportive, it's inconvenient. That's the cost of friendship and partnership and community. It just is. And so that's something that I'm working to build a better relationship with. What else? I wrote notes. So with taking a pause, one, I have decided I want to do a silent day at least once a month going forward, just because it was really, really good. I also want to prioritize like no phone on Sunday. I don't know how realistic it is to say no phone at all, like actually powering down my phone every Sunday, but at least like limiting my screen time and like no social media on Sunday. I think that's enough of a pause, but I think at least one day out the month to be able to like really power off my phone and like be withdrawn, which I think was really hard. It tested me as a parent too, because I kept thinking like, what if the kids need something? What if something happens? And I really had to trust that, like, one, I trust their dad. I let my oldest know ahead of time that like I'm powering off my phone. I'm not gonna be available, but if it's an emergency, call your sister. She was here. And so like, not thinking that I have to be so available even as a mother, I think is something new for me as well. But I think in this pause, it really showed me how much time I need to digest and really integrate a lot of the changes that have happened, and a lot of the downloads and intuitive nudges and wisdom that I feel like I'm constantly getting. Like, when do I pause long enough to actually integrate and give myself room and time to like actually let it land in my body enough to be able to put it in action, enough to embody it? And I think as someone who teaches and guides others, this is necessary. I had made a post on Substack a while ago saying women of impact need a regulated nervous system in order to be of service. And so I think taking these days will also strengthen and expand my capacity to be able to show up for others, whether it be clients or community or my family. I think it will serve for a much well-watered me. And so I seen the necessity of how much I need to pause in order to be able to fully show up and give like a real quality pour, because I feel really replenished and revitalized since my 24 hours, but I think since the summer period, that like I feel like a new version of myself with having so much of my own energy for me, that I have more to give. Like when the kids come home, I feel like I'm more patient, I'm more gentle. Like me and my daughter had a really good conversation Sunday night before I powered off my phone, and it was just like, wow, we've grown so much. And like I'm really just so proud of her and myself and how we have been able to move through conflict. Like the conversation we had was really proof of the work is working and how much and how far we've come. And so really being able to take that in, I think taking this pause really allowed me to sit in gratitude, really. Like I've been feeling really, really proud of myself lately. And not because I made any like material successes or accomplishments really, but those little things. I think I'm really proud of the way that I have navigated this past year. Like I said, this time last year, my life look completely different in terms of support, in terms of capacity and ease. And I know I would not have been able to get here if I did not hold the belief that this is possible. And I'm just really proud of myself for holding that, because I know how hard it is to hold a belief and to hold a vision when your circumstances don't show you that you should even be thinking about that's even possible. And so it really allowed me to like integrate the gratitude of that and integrate the fulfillment I feel, and I feel like accomplishing receiving support, like getting into a place of receiving that has shown me that I have done some great work within myself. And this also, I think, makes me available to also share it outwardly and to be able to hold space outwardly. But that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with. The question of the day: what are you ready to take responsibility for within your life that will lead to your goals, your dreams, your desires, what you say you want, even if it's not within reach right now? What are you willing to take action on, even if it is not really action? If it's a pause, if it's more rest, if it's going to the gym, if it's getting more sleep, if it's letting some things go, delegating some things, what is it that you are willing to take responsible for, and like creating the boundaries, creating the space you need to even become an energetic match or in a position to receive what you say you want? Because I do believe that's leadership. That leadership has to be the both and, the receiver and the giver. And so what does that look like for you this week or in life? Something to take with you. So if you enjoyed today's reflection, I welcome you to also join Monday's meditation. We meet every Monday at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. We meet via Zoom, and we typically meditate for the first 20 to 25 minutes, and then we'll have discussion. I also send out journal prompt reflections that you could do throughout the week, and then you can also listen to the replay of the meditation throughout the week as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can sign up on my website. This Sunday coming up, I'll also be teaching a cycle syncing workshop called Find Your Rhythm. I'll be teaching about the different phases of your menstrual cycle and how to energetically align with them so that you're not working against your body. I do believe cycle syncing is a good way to follow the path of least resistance when it comes to your body and your energy. And so I'll be teaching that on Sunday. If you are interested, you can also register on my website. This is a free class, so you're more than welcome to join. But I'll be back next Monday with another Monday's Medicine. Bye for now.